Welcome to my channel. HD Rare Coins 111. In this video I tell you about the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. Today's video is going to be a treat. We're diving deep into one of the most sought after pennies in US history, the 1944 Lincoln 1-cent penny. This iconic coin might seem simple at first glance, but it holds a secret treasure for those who know where to look. So, grab your magnifying glass and get ready to discover the incredible story behind the 1944 Lincoln penny and why it could be worth more than you ever imagined. The Lincoln 1-cent penny, first minted in 1909, is one of the most iconic coins in American history. Featuring the image of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, the penny quickly became a symbol of the country's dedication to honoring its leaders and its rich heritage. Over the years, the Lincoln penny has undergone several design changes, but one year stands out above the rest: the 1944 Lincoln penny. The 1944 Lincoln penny is a coin from a very unique year in U.S. history. During World War II, there was a significant shortage of copper for minting coins, which led the U.S. Mint to experiment with alternative materials. In 1944, the government used steel for the production of pennies. However, most of the pennies from this year were struck in a copper-based alloy, as they returned to the traditional material after the war. What makes the 1944 Lincoln penny so special is that a small number were struck in steel. This rare version is what makes the coin so valuable to collectors today. Now, let's talk about why the 1944 Lincoln penny is so valuable. It all comes down to the material. While most 1944 pennies were made from a mixture of copper and zinc, a small batch of pennies were minted using steel that had been left over from wartime production. These steel pennies were produced to save copper, as copper was in high demand for military ammunition and other wartime needs. However, these steel pennies were later recalled and melted down, and as a result, only a few survive today. The scarcity of these steel pennies makes them incredibly valuable, and for good reason. When you hold a 1944 Lincoln steel penny, you're holding a piece of American history, a coin that represents a pivotal time during World War II. It's not just a piece of currency, it's a symbol of resilience, of an entire nation coming together to fight for freedom, and a testament to the resourcefulness of the American people during one of the most trying times in history. But what exactly makes a 1944 Lincoln penny valuable? Well, the most important factor is rarity. You see, the 1944 steel pennies were only produced in small quantities, and very few of them were ever released into circulation. Most of the steel pennies were melted down after the war, which means that only a limited number still exist today. The fewer coins that are available, the higher their value becomes, and this is what makes the 1944 Lincoln steel penny so coveted among collectors. The next factor that can impact the value of a 1944 Lincoln penny is its condition. As with any coin, the better the condition, the higher the value. A 1944 penny that's been well preserved and has minimal wear can be worth much more than a worn or damaged one. Many of these coins, due to their age and the fact that they were circulated for years, may show signs of wear, tarnishing, and discoloration. However, if you happen to find a 1944 Lincoln steel penny in excellent condition, you could be holding something truly remarkable. Another important aspect of the 1944 Lincoln penny's value is its potential for error. If you've been following the world of rare coins for any amount of time, you'll know that error coins are among the most highly sought after by collectors. A 1944 penny with a minting error, such as being struck off center, having die cracks, or displaying unusual markings, can be worth exponentially more than a standard coin. The more unique and rare the error, the higher the price. So, always take a close look at your 1944 pennies for any signs of minting mistakes. You never know what you might find, but the 1944 Lincoln penny isn't just valuable because of its rarity, condition, and errors. It's also valuable because of its historical significance. Coins are often much more than just currency. They're artifacts that tell the story of a time, a place, and a people. The 1944 Lincoln penny was produced during a time when the world was at war, and the American government was doing everything it could to support the war effort. By using steel instead of copper for the production of these pennies, the U.S. Mint was able to save precious copper for the war industry. Owning a 1944 Lincoln steel penny is like holding a small piece of the past, a tangible reminder of the sacrifices made during World War II. Now, you may be wondering just how much a 1944 Lincoln steel penny could be worth. While most 1944 pennies are only worth their face value of 1 cent, a rare 1944 steel penny in excellent condition could fetch thousands of dollars at auction. If you're fortunate enough to find one of these elusive steel pennies, especially one that is in pristine condition or has a rare minting error, it could be worth as much as $85,000. That's right, $85,000. Imagine finding one of these rare coins in a drawer, a coin collection, or even in your pocket change. It could completely change your life. So, the next time you come across a 1944 Lincoln penny, take a moment to carefully examine it. Look for signs that it could be one of the rare steel pennies, and check its condition. You might just have a valuable piece of history in your hands, one that could be worth a small fortune. Top 2. We're diving deep into one of the most iconic coins in American history, the Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1949. This little coin may seem like just a humble piece of currency, but if you look closely, it's a true treasure. In fact, this penny could be worth far more than its face value. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone who's curious about the world of numismatics, you're in for a real treat. So grab your magnifying glass and get ready to learn all about the fascinating history, rarity, and value of the 1949 Lincoln 1-cent penny. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909, making it one of the oldest and most recognized coins in the United States. The coin was designed by Victor David Brenner to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, who led the nation through the Civil War and fought to end slavery. Lincoln's portrait appears on the obverse, or front, of the coin, while the reverse side features a simple design that has evolved over time. The 1949 penny, just like the others in the series, showcases Lincoln's face and is made from copper, a metal that gives the coin its distinct reddish-brown appearance. While the design of the Lincoln penny has remained relatively consistent over the years, there are still subtle differences in certain years that make some coins more valuable than others. In the case of the 1949 Lincoln 1-cent penny, there are a few factors that set it apart from its counterparts, making it a coin that collectors go wild for. First, let's talk about mintage. The United States Mint produces coins in large quantities to meet the demands of the economy, and in 1949, they produced millions of pennies. However, just because a coin is widely produced doesn't necessarily mean it's common or easy to find today. In fact, the 1949 penny, despite its large mintage, has become somewhat rare due to the passage of time, wear, and the fact that many were circulated extensively and lost over the years. What makes the 1949 Lincoln penny particularly interesting is the fact that it's part of the post-World War II era. This was a time of economic growth and change in the United States, and coins from this era are especially sought after by collectors who are drawn to pieces of history. The 1949 penny was minted during a time when the country was transitioning from wartime scarcity to peacetime prosperity, which gives it a unique place in the timeline of American coins. Now, let's talk about what truly makes the 1949 Lincoln penny stand out: its rarity and condition. As with all collectible coins, the value of the 1949 penny largely depends on its condition. Coins that were heavily circulated or damaged over time are often worth much less than those that were kept in pristine condition. Many of the 1949 pennies that were minted ended up being used in everyday transactions, meaning they were subject to wear and tear. However, a well-preserved 1949 penny, especially one that has been carefully stored away or graded highly, is a much rarer find and can command a higher price on the market. But rarity isn't the only factor that makes the 1949 Lincoln penny special. There are certain key elements of the coin that collectors look for when determining its value. For example, mint errors or variations can significantly increase the worth of a coin. A penny from 1949 that has an unusual feature, like an off-center strike or a doubling of the image, could be worth a great deal more than one that's perfectly struck. These types of errors are rare and highly coveted by collectors, as they make the coin a one-of-a-kind piece of history. Additionally, the 1949 penny is particularly valuable in higher grades. Coins are often graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being the highest grade for a coin in perfect condition. The better the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. For example, a 1949 Lincoln penny in a mint state grade, meaning it has little to no signs of wear and is almost as good as new, will be worth far more than one that's been worn down from years of use. The highest graded examples of this coin are incredibly valuable and can fetch impressive amounts at auctions.so. What does all this mean for you if you have a 1949 Lincoln penny in your possession? Well, if the coin is in excellent condition or has a unique error, it could be worth far more than its face value of just 1 cent. In fact, rare and high-quality 1949 Lincoln pennies can fetch thousands of dollars at auction. The demand for these coins has only increased over time, and as more collectors seek out these vintage pieces, the value continues to rise. Now, you might be asking yourself, just how much could a 1949 Lincoln penny really be worth? The value of this penny varies depending on its condition, but some of the most sought-after examples of the 1949 Lincoln penny have been known to sell for significant amounts of money. Coins that are in mint condition, or those that feature rare minting errors, can fetch impressive prices on the market. But here's the exciting part. The most valuable 1949 Lincoln pennies can sell for as much as $80,000. Yes, that's right, $80,000 for a single penny. That's a staggering amount of money for a coin that originally had a face value of just 1 cent. This just goes to show how valuable rare coins can become when they stand the test of time and are preserved in top-notch condition. So, if you happen to find a 1949 Lincoln penny in your pocket change or in your collection, take a closer look. You could be holding on to a coin that's worth far more than you ever imagined. Whether you're a collector or someone who's just stumbled upon a rare find, the 1949 Lincoln penny could be the key to unlocking a treasure trove of value. Remember, when it comes to rare coins, condition is everything, and with the 1949 Lincoln penny, your coin could be worth a small fortune. Keep an eye out for those high-grade coins or any with unique minting errors. They could make you the proud owner of a coin worth $80,000. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more coin discoveries and valuable insights into the world of numismatics. Top 3 today, we're diving deep into one of the most iconic and sought-after coins in the history of American currency, the Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1957. This particular penny may seem like a small, humble piece of change, but believe it or not, it could be worth much more than you ever imagined. So, grab your magnifying glass and get ready to uncover the fascinating story and valuable secrets behind the 1957 Lincoln penny. You won't want to miss this. The Lincoln penny, first minted in 1909, has become a symbol of American history and culture. The coin was designed by Victor David Brenner to commemorate the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. His portrait is featured on the obverse, or front, of the coin, while the reverse features a simple but powerful design that has evolved over time. The 1957 Lincoln penny, like its predecessors, was made from copper and has that distinctive reddish-brown appearance that makes it instantly recognizable. Now, you might be wondering why the 1957 penny is so special. Well, despite being part of a series that's been in circulation for over a century, the 1957 Lincoln penny has certain features that make it stand out. The first thing to note is that this penny was minted during the post-World War II era, a time when the U.S. economy was booming and people were beginning to rebuild their lives after the war. This period of prosperity set the stage for the 1957 penny's future as a collector's item. But what makes the 1957 Lincoln penny even more intriguing is its rarity. While millions of these pennies were minted in 1957, not all of them have stood the test of time. Many were circulated extensively, used in everyday transactions, and eventually worn down to the point where their value has significantly diminished. However, a small number of 1957 pennies have managed to survive in excellent condition, and these coins are in high demand among collectors. It's these pristine examples that can fetch impressive prices on the market. So, what makes a 1957 penny valuable? The key factors are rarity and condition. Coins that have been kept in mint or near mint condition are the most desirable to collectors. Over time, pennies that have been stored in a safe place, away from the elements, have managed to maintain their sharp details, rich color, and overall appearance. These well-preserved coins are worth much more than a penny in worn-out condition. In addition to mint condition, another feature that can significantly increase the value of a 1957 penny is the presence of a mint error. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process, such as misprints or flaws in the die that strikes the coin. These errors can create unique variations of the 1957 penny that are highly coveted by collectors. Some examples of mint errors on 1957 pennies include double strikes, off-center strikes, and die cracks. These errors are rare and make the coin even more valuable. For example, imagine you come across a 1957 penny that has been struck twice, creating a double image of Abraham Lincoln. This would make the penny much more desirable to collectors, as it's a rare and unique flaw that cannot be replicated. Similarly, if you find a penny with an off-center strike, where the design is misaligned, you've got a coin that's considered even rarer and more valuable than a regular 1957 penny. But what about the general circulation 1957 pennies? Well, while they may not be as rare or unique as those with mint errors, they're still highly sought after by collectors, especially those in mint or near mint condition. The more pristine the coin, the more valuable it becomes. A 1957 Lincoln penny that looks almost as good as new can fetch a significant amount on the market. As a coin ages, its value tends to increase, especially if it's well preserved. That's why it's so important to store your coins properly and avoid any damage that could reduce their value. If you're lucky enough to own a high-grade 1957 penny, you're in a great position. Some of the best examples of this coin, in gem-quality condition, have been known to sell for impressive amounts at auctions. In fact, high-grade 1957 pennies have sold for thousands of dollars, and in some cases, the prices can reach even higher amounts depending on the rarity and condition of the coin. Now, you might be wondering just how much a 1957 Lincoln penny could be worth if it's in excellent condition or has a mint error. Well, to put it simply, the value can range anywhere from a few dollars to a few $1,000s, depending on the coin's specific characteristics. However, the most valuable 1957 pennies, those in perfect condition or with significant mint errors, can sell for astonishing prices. And here's the exciting part. The most valuable 1957 Lincoln pennies, especially those that are in the highest grades or feature rare mint errors, can be worth as much as $70,000. Yes, you heard that right, $70,000 for a single penny. That's a remarkable return on a coin that originally had a face value of just 1 cent. It goes to show just how much the world of coin collecting can transform a humble penny into a priceless treasure. So, if you have a 1957 Lincoln penny lying around in your collection or your spare change jar, it's worth taking a closer look. You might just have a rare find on your hands. Whether it's a well-preserved penny with no signs of wear or one with an unusual mint error, your 1957 penny could be the key to unlocking a fortune. Keep in mind that the value of rare coins continues to rise over time, so what may seem like just a small, insignificant coin could one day be worth a substantial amount of money. Top 5. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of U.S. coins, and the spotlight is on a coin that many overlook but holds incredible value, the 1973 Lincoln 1-cent penny. It's amazing how a seemingly simple penny can turn out to be a rare gem. And if you're a coin collector or just a fan of history, this episode is for you. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American currency since its debut in 1909, and it continues to captivate collectors with its timeless design. The 1973 penny, like most coins, features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front, while the reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was used from 1959 until 2008. It's a design that's ingrained in American culture and instantly recognizable by anyone who's ever handled a penny, Now, you may be wondering, what makes the 1973 Lincoln penny so special? Well, most 1973 pennies may seem like nothing more than just your everyday pocket change, but when you look closer, you might find something extraordinary. While the mint produced billions of pennies that year, only a few remain in perfect condition, and these are the ones that can make your collection truly stand out. As with any coin, the value of a 1973 Lincoln penny largely depends on its condition. Coins that are well preserved and show minimal wear are far more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. Most pennies from 1973 will be worn down due to years of handling, but if you happen to find one that's been carefully stored or remains in pristine condition, you could have a real treasure on your hands. But it doesn't stop there. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is the possibility of finding coins with rare mint errors. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin production process, and these mistakes can create valuable variations of an otherwise common coin. Some of the errors to look out for on a 1973 Lincoln penny include off-center strikes, double strikes, or even misprints in the design. These mint errors are highly sought after by collectors because they are unique and can't be replicated. Finding a 1973 Lincoln penny with a noticeable mint error could be your ticket to a valuable coin. These error-struck coins are often worth far more than their regular counterparts, as they are much rarer and more difficult to come by. So, if you have a 1973 penny that seems a bit unusual or has a noticeable mistake, you might just have a rare collector's item on your hands. Now, let's get to the big question: just how much can a 1973 Lincoln penny be worth? The value of these pennies can vary greatly depending on their condition and any potential mint errors. While most 1973 pennies are only worth their face value of 1 cent, coins that are in excellent condition can fetch a respectable amount from collectors. And if you're lucky enough to find a 1973 penny with a significant mint error, the value can skyrocket. A 1973 Lincoln penny in pristine condition can be worth several $100s, but the real value comes from those rare mint errors. In fact, a 1973 Lincoln penny with the right kind of error could be worth as much as $57,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1973 penny could be worth $57,000 if it's in exceptional condition or features a rare mint error. That's the kind of find that can make any coin collector's dream come true. So, if you happen to come across a 1973 Lincoln penny in your change jar or during your coin hunts, take a closer look before you toss it aside. It may be worth far more than you think. Whether it's in excellent condition or has a mint error, the 1973 Lincoln penny could be your ticket to a substantial payday. Thanks for joining me in today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more exciting coin discoveries and tips on how to find valuable treasures in your own pocket change. And remember, that 1973 Lincoln penny could be worth up to $57,000. Happy collecting! Top 6. We're going to talk about a particular gem from the past, the 1974 Lincoln 1-cent penny. Now, you might think a penny is just a penny, but trust me, this coin has some serious value, especially if you know what to look for. The 1974 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running series of pennies that have featured Abraham Lincoln's portrait since 1909. If you're familiar with U.S. currency, you'll recognize the obverse of this penny as the classic bust of Lincoln, a design that has stood the test of time. The reverse, meanwhile, displays the iconic wheat stalks, a design that was used from 1909 until 1958. In 1959, the design changed to the Lincoln Memorial, which is featured on the 1974 penny, giving it that familiar look we all know today. At first glance, a 1974 Lincoln penny might appear to be just another common piece of change. After all, millions of these pennies were minted that year. But here's the kicker: despite the high mintage, certain 1974 pennies can actually be worth a lot more than you'd expect. The key to unlocking their hidden value lies in their condition and any potential mint errors. As with any coin, the value of a 1974 Lincoln penny is heavily dependent on its condition. The more worn out a coin is, the less valuable it becomes. However, if you happen to come across a 1974 penny that looks nearly brand new, without any visible wear or damage, you've got yourself a treasure. Coins that are in excellent or uncirculated condition are always worth more than those that have been in circulation for years. But the real excitement begins when you start looking for rare mint errors. These errors happen when something goes wrong during the minting process, and they can turn an ordinary penny into a highly sought-after collector's item. Some of the most valuable 1974 pennies are those with mint errors, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or even coins that were struck on the wrong planchet. These errors make the coins unique and incredibly desirable to collectors. A penny that has been struck off-center, for example, can command a higher price due to its rarity. Other error coins, like those with double dies or misaligned designs, can also fetch a pretty penny, sometimes even more than you might expect for a small coin. Collectors hunt for these mistakes because they represent a unique piece of history, one that wasn't meant to exist in the first place. Now, let's talk about the value. While a regular 1974 Lincoln penny might only be worth its face value of 1 cent, the story changes when it comes to rare, error-struck coins. If you're lucky enough to find a 1974 penny in mint condition or with a significant error, it could be worth much more than you ever imagined. In fact, a 1974 Lincoln penny in excellent condition could be worth a few $100s. But if it's one of the rare coins with a major mint error, the price can soar. In some cases, a rare 1974 Lincoln penny has been known to fetch up to $55,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. $55,000 for a penny that was minted nearly half a century ago. That's the kind of value that can make any coin collector's heart skip a beat. So, if you have a 1974 Lincoln penny lying around in your collection or in a drawer, it might be worth taking a closer look. Whether it's a perfectly preserved coin or one with a minting error, you could be holding on to something that's far more valuable than you think. Top 7. We're talking about the 1976 Lincoln 1-cent penny. A seemingly ordinary coin that could be worth an extraordinary amount of money if you know what to look for. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate the 1976 Lincoln penny for what it is. It's part of the famous Lincoln cent series, which has been in circulation for over a century. This particular penny, minted in 1976, is a part of a special year in American coinage because it coincides with the bicentennial celebrations, marking 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. While the 1976 penny itself doesn't feature a special bicentennial design, it still holds significance and value in the world of coin collecting. When you take a closer look at the 1976 Lincoln penny, you'll notice the usual design: Abraham Lincoln's bust on the obverse and the familiar Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. These designs, first introduced in 1909, have become iconic symbols of the United States. But what makes the 1976 Lincoln penny stand out among the crowd is its potential to be a rare and valuable coin if certain conditions are met. You see, most of the 1976 Lincoln pennies that were minted are pretty common and still circulate today. However, as with any coin, there are certain factors that can drastically increase its value. One of the biggest factors is the coin's condition. Pennies that have been well preserved and show minimal signs of wear can be worth more than their face value. In fact, a pristine 1976 penny in uncirculated condition could already be worth more than you might expect. But here's where things get interesting. The real treasure lies in the rare varieties and mint errors that exist in the 1976 Lincoln penny series. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin's production, and they can turn an otherwise ordinary penny into a highly sought-after collectible. These errors, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or misaligned dies, make the coin unique and desirable to collectors who are constantly on the lookout for rare finds. If you're lucky enough to come across a 1976 Lincoln penny with a noticeable mint error, you could be holding on to something valuable. A double die error, for example, is a common type of mistake where the design is struck multiple times, causing a distorted image. These types of errors can significantly increase the value of a coin, sometimes making it worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. If you happen to find one of these rare varieties, it could be a goldmine for your collection. Even without mint errors, certain 1976 pennies, especially those in perfect, uncirculated condition, can fetch a pretty penny. pun intended. These well-preserved coins are sought after by collectors who appreciate the historical value and the beauty of coins that have stood the test of time. Now, let's talk about the big question: how much could your 1976 Lincoln penny be worth? Well, it all depends on its condition, the presence of any rare mint errors, and how much collectors are willing to pay. While most 1976 Lincoln pennies are worth only their face value of 1 cent, certain varieties and well-preserved coins can be worth far more. In some rare cases, if your 1976 penny is in excellent condition or has a significant minting error, it could be worth as much as $50,000. Yes, that's right. A single penny could be worth $50,000 if it's a rare, error-struck variety, or a coin in pristine condition. This is the kind of discovery that could make any coin collector's dreams come true. So, if you have a 1976 Lincoln penny, it might be worth taking a closer look. Whether it's an uncirculated specimen or a rare mint error, you could be holding on to a piece of history that is worth a lot more than you ever imagined. Top 8. We're going to talk about a hidden gem in American coinage, the 1980 Lincoln 1-cent penny. This little coin, often overlooked and seemingly ordinary, could be worth far more than its 1-cent face value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting into the hobby, the 1980 Lincoln penny could hold the key to a potential windfall. At first glance, the 1980 penny doesn't seem all that special. It features the classic design introduced in 1909 by Victor David Brenner, a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But don't be fooled by its simple appearance. This penny, like so many others, has the potential to surprise collectors in a big way. The 1980 penny was minted during an era of high production, and millions of these coins were made. However, just because a coin is abundant doesn't mean it's not valuable. In fact, certain conditions and factors can make this coin worth a substantial amount of money. So, what are the key things to look for in a 1980 penny that could set it apart from the others? The first thing you need to check is the coin's condition. Like any coin, the value of the 1980 penny increases dramatically if it is well preserved. Pennies that show little to no wear and have clear, crisp details can fetch more than just a few cents. A coin in uncirculated condition is always more valuable than one that has been heavily circulated, so if you happen to find a 1980 penny in perfect condition, you might already be sitting on a valuable piece of history. But here's where things get really exciting: mint errors. This is where the real treasures lie in coin collecting. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process, making the coin unique. These errors can range from double strikes, where the design is struck twice, to off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned. There are also more rare errors, like the 1980 penny with a wide AM, or close AM, reverse, which refers to the spacing between the letters A and M in America. If you happen to find a 1980 penny with one of these errors, your coin could be worth significantly more than its face value. Collectors are always on the lookout for these types of errors because they are extremely rare. Coins with these minting mistakes are highly sought after, and depending on the error, they can increase the value of the 1980 penny by a substantial amount. For example, a 1980 penny with a wide AM error can fetch a premium, sometimes selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Even without errors, the 1980 Lincoln penny can be valuable if it is in mint condition. Coins that are in flawless condition, with no scratches, discoloration, or other signs of damage, are always in demand. Collectors appreciate these coins for their aesthetic beauty and historical value. And as more time passes, these well-preserved pennies become even more sought after, driving up their market price. So, what's the bottom line? How much could a 1980 Lincoln penny be worth? Well, if you have a well-preserved example or a penny with a rare mint error, you could be looking at a valuable coin that might be worth far more than its 1 cent face value. In fact, a high-quality 1980 Lincoln penny with the right error or in pristine, uncirculated condition could be worth up to $45,000. Yes, that's right, $45,000. That small penny you might have lying around could turn out to be worth a small fortune. So, if you have a 1980 Lincoln penny in your collection, it's worth taking a closer look. It might just be the treasure you've been searching for. Top 8. We're going to talk about a hidden gem in American coinage, the 1980 Lincoln 1-cent penny. This little coin, often overlooked and seemingly ordinary, could be worth far more than its 1-cent face value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting into the hobby, the 1980 Lincoln penny could hold the key to a potential windfall. At first glance, the 1980 penny doesn't seem all that special. It features the classic design introduced in 1909 by Victor David Brenner, a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But don't be fooled by its simple appearance. This penny, like so many others, has the potential to surprise collectors in a big way. The 1980 penny was minted during an era of high production, and millions of these coins were made. However, just because a coin is abundant doesn't mean it's not valuable. In fact, certain conditions and factors can make this coin worth a substantial amount of money. So, what are the key things to look for in a 1980 penny that could set it apart from the others? The first thing you need to check is the coin's condition. Like any coin, the value of the 1980 penny increases dramatically if it is well preserved. Pennies that show little to no wear and have clear, crisp details can fetch more than just a few cents. A coin in uncirculated condition is always more valuable than one that has been heavily circulated, so if you happen to find a 1980 penny in perfect condition, you might already be sitting on a valuable piece of history. But here's where things get really exciting: mint errors. This is where the real treasures lie in coin collecting. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process, making the coin unique. These errors can range from double strikes, where the design is struck twice, to off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned. There are also more rare errors, like the 1980 penny with a wide AM, or close AM, reverse, which refers to the spacing between the letters A and M in America. If you happen to find a 1980 penny with one of these errors, your coin could be worth significantly more than its face value. Collectors are always on the lookout for these types of errors because they are extremely rare. Coins with these minting mistakes are highly sought after, and depending on the error, they can increase the value of the 1980 penny by a substantial amount. For example, a 1980 penny with a wide AM error can fetch a premium, sometimes selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Even without errors, the 1980 Lincoln penny can be valuable if it is in mint condition. Coins that are in flawless condition, with no scratches, discoloration, or other signs of damage, are always in demand. Collectors appreciate these coins for their aesthetic beauty and historical value. And as more time passes, these well-preserved pennies become even more sought after, driving up their market price. So, what's the bottom line? How much could a 1980 Lincoln penny be worth? Well, if you have a well-preserved example or a penny with a rare mint error, you could be looking at a valuable coin that might be worth far more than its 1-cent face value. In fact, a high-quality 1980 Lincoln penny with the right error or in pristine, uncirculated condition could be worth up to $45,000. Yes, that's right, $45,000. That small penny you might have lying around could turn out to be worth a small fortune. So, if you have a 1980 Lincoln penny in your collection, it's worth taking a closer look. It might just be the treasure you've been searching for. Top 9. The story of the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny 1996 begins not just with its year of minting, but with a legacy that stretches back over a century. The Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, is more than just a coin. It's a symbol of a nation's respect for its 16th president, Abraham Lincoln, and its ability to adapt art, technology, and utility in creating enduring icons of history. In the world of numismatics, coins like the 1996 Lincoln penny represent a blend of the mundane and the extraordinary. While millions of these coins were produced and circulated for everyday transactions, a select few stand out for their rarity, condition, and unique features, making them coveted pieces in collections worldwide. Let's delve deeper into the coin's history, its place in the broader story of the Lincoln penny series, and how it continues to captivate collectors and historians alike. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909, marking the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was a revolutionary move at the time to feature a real historical figure, let alone a president, on U.S. coinage. Prior to this, American coins typically showcased allegorical figures representing ideals like liberty and justice. The decision to place Lincoln on the penny broke tradition and set a precedent for modern U.S. coin designs. The artist chosen to create the Lincoln cent was Victor David Brenner, a Lithuanian-American sculptor whose admiration for Lincoln's legacy shone through in his work. Brenner's design featured Lincoln's profile on the obverse, a first in American coinage, and 2 wheat ears on the reverse, symbolizing growth and prosperity. The wheat ears remained part of the penny's design until 1959, when they were replaced with the image of the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. By the time the 1996 penny came into production, the coin had already undergone significant changes in terms of materials and minting techniques. The most notable shift occurred during 1982, when the composition of the penny was changed from 95% copper and 5% zinc to 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. This change was driven by the rising cost of copper, making the new pennies more economical to produce. The 1996 penny, like all pennies minted since 1982, features a zinc core with a thin copper plating, giving it the same appearance as its predecessors but with a lighter weight. Now let's focus specifically on the 1996 Lincoln penny. This coin was minted in 3 primary locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The vast majority of these pennies were struck for circulation, with Philadelphia and Denver producing billions of coins combined. The pennies minted in San Francisco, however, were proof coins, designed with exceptional precision and intended for collectors. Proof coins are struck multiple times with specially polished dies, resulting in sharp details and a mirror-like finish that sets them apart from regular circulation coins. The design of the 1996 Lincoln penny remains consistent with this series' long-standing aesthetic. On the obverse, we see Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln, gazing resolutely to the right. Above him are the words, "In God we trust," a declaration of the nation's faith. To the left of Lincoln's profile is the word, "Liberty," symbolizing the freedom he fought to preserve, and to the right is the year, 1996, marking the coin's minting date. At the base of the bust, you can find the initials, VDB, a subtle tribute to the coin's original designer. The reverse of the coin, designed by Frank Gasparo, features the Lincoln Memorial in intricate detail. If you look closely, you can even see a tiny depiction of Lincoln's statue inside the memorial, a testament to the meticulous craftsmanship involved in the coin's design. Surrounding the memorial are the inscriptions, "United States of America," and "E pluribus unum," while the denomination, 1 cent, is prominently displayed at the bottom. While the design of the 1996 penny is undeniably beautiful, its real intrigue lies in the stories behind its production and the unique variations that make certain specimens highly valuable. Among these are minting errors, which occur during the coin production process and result in fascinating anomalies. Some common errors found in 1996 Lincoln pennies include double die errors. These occur when the coin is struck more than once, causing the design elements to appear doubled. A 1996 Lincoln penny with a double die error on the obverse or reverse can fetch a significant premium. Off-center strikes. In this error, the coin is struck off-center, leaving part of the design missing. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin, especially if the date is still visible. Die cracks and cuds. These are caused by cracks or breaks in the dies used to strike the coins, resulting in raised lines or missing portions of the design on the finished coin. Planchet errors. These occur when the metal blank, planchet, used to create the coin is flawed in some way, such as being too thin or thick, or having an irregular shape. Each of these errors makes the affected coin unique, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for these one-of-a-kind pieces. For most people, a 1996 Lincoln penny might seem like just another coin. But for collectors, it represents an opportunity to own a piece of history. The value of a 1996 penny depends on several factors, including its condition, rarity, and any errors it may possess. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS 70 representing a perfect, uncirculated coin with no visible flaws. A 1996 Lincoln penny in MS 65 condition or higher is considered a premium example and can command a significant price. High-quality proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, especially those graded as PR 69 or higher, are also highly sought after. These coins, with their flawless surfaces and sharp details, are prized by collectors for their beauty and craftsmanship. Now, let's address the most exciting part: the value of a 1996 Lincoln penny today. While most pennies from this year are worth only their face value of 1 cent, certain coins have fetched impressive prices at auction. A 1996 Lincoln penny in pristine mint state condition, or one with a significant minting error, can be worth anywhere from $100 to $35,000, depending on its uniqueness and appeal to collectors. Top 10. The story of the 1984 Lincoln 1-cent penny begins long before the coin itself came into existence. To understand its significance, we must journey back to the dawn of the 20th century, when the very concept of the Lincoln cent was born. In 1909, to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the United States Mint introduced the Lincoln penny, replacing the Indian head cent that had circulated since the mid-19th century. It was the first U.S. coin to feature the likeness of an actual historical figure, setting a new precedent for coinage design in America. Abraham Lincoln was chosen not just because he was one of the most beloved presidents in U.S. history, but because his leadership during the Civil War and his dedication to unity and equality embodied the ideals of the nation. The designer of the original coin, Victor David Brenner, created a portrait of Lincoln based on a photograph by Matthew Brady. This image has since become one of the most enduring designs in American numismatics, gracing the obverse of the penny for over a century. Fast forward to 1984, and the Lincoln penny was still a cornerstone of everyday transactions. By this time, the coin had undergone several changes, both in composition and in its reverse design. From 1959 onwards, the reverse featured the Lincoln Memorial, replacing the original wheat ears design. This change, made to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday, was the work of Frank Gasparo, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time. The 1984 penny bore the same design, linking it to a legacy that spanned decades. The production of the 1984 Lincoln penny was a monumental task. Millions of these coins were struck at the U.S. Mint facilities in Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia coins bore no mint mark, while the Denver coins featured a small D under the date. At first glance, these coins seemed identical to the countless pennies produced each year. However, hidden among the millions were a few extraordinary examples that would later capture the attention of collectors and numismatists. One of the reasons the 1984 penny is so remarkable is the existence of a rare and valuable error coin known as the double die verse. This error occurs during the minting process when a misalignment between the hub and die creates a doubled image on the coin. In the case of the 1984 penny, the doubling is most prominently seen in Lincoln's ear. This gives the impression of a second, slightly offset ear, a unique feature that makes these coins highly sought after by collectors. The discovery of the 1984 doubled die obverse penny sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. Error coins have always held a special place in the hearts of collectors because they represent anomalies in an otherwise precise and controlled process. Each error tells a story of the minting process and offers a glimpse into the complexities of coin production. For the 1984 penny, the doubled ear became a symbol of rarity and intrigue, sparking a frenzy among collectors eager to add this coin to their collections. What makes the 1984 Lincoln penny even more fascinating is its composition. By the early 1980s, the rising cost of copper had prompted the U.S. Mint to change the composition of the penny. Starting in 1982, pennies were no longer made entirely of copper. Instead, they were composed of a zinc core with a thin copper plating. This change reduced the cost of production but also made the coins more susceptible to wear and damage over time. Despite these challenges, the 1984 penny remains a testament to the enduring legacy of the Lincoln cent for many. The true allure of the 1984 Lincoln penny lies in its collector value. While most 1984 pennies are worth only their face value of 1 cent, the double-die obverse error coins can fetch astonishing prices at auction. These coins are highly prized not just for their rarity but for their historical significance and the stories they tell. In recent years, some examples of the 1984 double-die obverse penny have sold for as much as $30,000, depending on their condition and certification. The journey of a 1984 penny from the mint to a collector's showcase is one of chance and discovery. Imagine finding such a coin in your pocket change or a forgotten piggy bank. The thrill of uncovering a hidden treasure like the 1984 double-die obverse penny is a dream come true for many collectors. It's a reminder that even the smallest and seemingly most ordinary objects can hold extraordinary value. To truly appreciate the 1984 Lincoln penny, we must also consider the role it plays in the broader context of numismatics. Coins are more than just a medium of exchange, they are artifacts of history, culture, and art. Each coin tells a story, capturing a moment in time and reflecting the values and aspirations of the society that produced it. The 1984 penny, with its connection to Lincoln and its unique era, is no exception. As we conclude this exploration of the 1984 Lincoln 1-cent penny, let's reflect on its significance. This coin is more than just a piece of currency, it's a symbol of American history and ingenuity. From its origins in 1909 to its production in 1984, the Lincoln penny has been a constant in the ever-changing landscape of American life. And for those lucky enough to discover a rare double-die obverse error, it's a gateway to the fascinating world of numismatics. In the end, the value of the 1984 Lincoln penny is not just measured in dollars and cents. It's a reminder that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places, and that history is all around us, waiting to be discovered. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your numismatic journey, the 1984 penny offers a glimpse into a world of wonder and possibility. And who knows? Perhaps the next time you empty your pockets, you'll find a coin that changes your life forever.